It's a foggy morning in the good land, but we got a ray of sunshine here on the Huddle. Our buddy Scott Dolphin from the country station down the hall is joining the party. Hello, Dolph.
Hi, Drew. I'm just fascinated by this Czechia-Korea World Baseball Classic game. Is this live?
You better believe it.
I can't believe I didn't set
From
the
the
DVR.
Tokyo Dome. Yeah.
4 a.m. first pitch, Tokyo Dome always goes hard.
How does a guy named Shea Whitcomb play for Korea? What's the background?
That's a fair question.
Probably it might have something with the Lars Nootbaar playing for Team Japan.
There you
last
go.
year.
Or Rowdy Tellez playing for Mexico. Right?
I mean, how did Ryan Boatwright and Luke Fisher play in the Armenian national basketball team? Nobody still knows.
Because you guys needed somebody.
That
You need
happened.
it big.
That's funny. Hired guns, maybe, huh?
Let me tell you, they weren't rolling baklava at Luke Fisher's house.
I'm going to deep dive today, maybe on YouTube, on Czechia baseball, just to see what the history is over there.
Yeah.
And they have nice facilities.
They got a sweet logo. I'll tell you that much.
It is a nice
the CR is a sweet logo on the hat.
So this whole tournament, they've got something here, right? This is because it's spring training, and otherwise, who cares? And you send the stars to these all-star teams. You juice the interest in baseball. You're coming off an Olympics where everybody was kind of into the national thing.
Yeah.
And now you got this. So it's like perfect timing for them.
And so a lot of it's done out west. And then now these games that we're watching here, is this Tokyo? Is that where this is?
These are in Tokyo.
They
Yeah.
are. Okay. All right. So they'll play for what, a week, and then they'll all get together into their semifinals? Or?
So they'll play, it's like 4 or 5 days worth of pool play. There's one, I want to say in San Juan is one of the other pool play sites, Tokyo, Houston, Miami, and then the quarterfinals will be in Houston, Miami, championships, semifinal and championship in Miami. And I do think they have something, Drew. Like it definitely embodies what you want to see. The sport is almost more important to I shouldn't say almost. It's more important to other countries when you see the passion that they get to see than it is here. And I think it raises people's appreciation for how good the ball is here all summer.
Yeah. I mean, we eye roll at Great Britain and Italy, but some of these countries are baseball, and we know the Australians can play,
Right.
And we know a lot about Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and of course,
Venezuela. Yeah.
But there's always a handful of major leaguers from Panama. There's always a handful from Brazil, countries like the Colombia. Not a lot, but they're there.
And Japan, who's dominated the thing.
They won the last one.
I mean,
They've won 3 out of the 5.
They've won 3 out of the 5. They have the best player that's ever walked the face of the earth. And they also have maybe the most impressive player in the sport coming off of what we watched in the World Series in Yamamoto.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Like, I mean, you play this thing right after October. Yamamoto might be the headlining star for what he had just done.
He's
The
damn
Dominicans got like 6 of their 9 starters are all-stars last
All-stars,
year.
yes.
So they're looking pretty solid.
That being said, you look at that USA roster and you think, I don't know. The problem is it's not like Olympic hockey because we've already heard, what is it, Skubal or Skeens? One of them, they're gonna do one start. That's it.
Yeah, Scooble's
star.
doing one start, one and done.
So it's not like USA hockey where we're getting all of our best all the time in every game.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where I wonder, Drew, guys, like when this gets to 2028, and I know baseball is going to be back in the Olympics in 2028. Right now, it's not with MLB players, but before that happens, the collective bargaining agreement will come up. And I wonder if that will be, I wonder if that would be a point of contention. I wonder if that would be a thing, because weren't players rather boisterous and wanting to be able to play in this more? Like the timing of that would be brutal. It would be very similar to what the NHL players just did. And they took a massive hiatus. I don't know that you could actually do that in baseball.
I don't think they would
with the timing, but I mean, in all reality, you could take a week and a half and have the entire tournament. This is all done in a week and a half. They take 5 days off for the All-Star break already. Depends on how malleable they'd actually want to be.
It's the deadest point in the sports calendar.
Yeah, great point. Yeah,
it's perfect.
For hockey, I think it makes perfect sense. Your top players from around the world are simply not there. With baseball, got a lot more guys than every roster. I guess people would still go to the games, but baseball and basketball could survive it a lot more than hockey could.
All right, so what's more attractive? This World Baseball Classic that's going on right now where you're watching, Jets, you're watching Korea, you're watching these players.
Just pantsing them.
Yeah. Or start your season with Carolina, Arizona in the Hall of Fame game.
This is still the United States of America, and we care about the NFL.
This is more
appealing.
How about that in Canton? Carolina and Arizona are playing in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, well, listen, Fitzgerald and Keekly makes the sense on the headliners.
I know, but like, good God.
I mean, do you expect something better, Drew? I'm kind of, I don't know what the reaction is. Like, do you expect more?
No, it'll
sexy.
It'll just always that game always gets a huge rating because people are so thirsty for the
so
NFL.
thirsty. That's why
And it's always a horrible game.
It is,
in
or the, you know,
a
you had,
lackluster facility.
like when the Packers were there and they didn't even play, right?
Exactly.
But I don't think I'll be watching. The Bears were there a couple of years ago and I didn't even watch because that game has become such a it's just scrubs. It's all scrubs.
And it's like that's preseason.
It is
Pre-season.
Week 0.
Can you bet on it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well.
Oh yeah.
And I have. Yeah.
Well, then.
Speaking of
and will.
Speaking of can you bet on it? Is your favorite little undercovered story in the dark corner of the interwebs these days that rigged poker game that Damon Jones and Chauncey Billups were part of with the mafia and ripping people off and getting whales in and stealing 50 grand from them?
I love the story. I haven't seen the developments. What do we got?
Well, you have 12 of the defendants are taking plea deals now.
Smart.
Not at this point, Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones, but they were the show ponies to get people in, and they were in on it. And they were getting a kick of it, and the rigged shuffling machines, the X-ray goggles, the X-ray tables that allowed them to see, like they had hidden cameras. They were just
that is nuts,
cheating their asses off,
incredible,
and ripping off rich guys.
Yeah, and if the government's after you, they're going to get you when it comes to this stuff. I read that book, Hot Dog Money, which was kind of blew the roof off of college, the seediness of college basketball to the point, and football to the point where I think that was the precursor to nil. That was one of the big things where they said, we really need something else because this isn't working because guys were taking envelopes full of money. That was the one the rifleman went down in, Chuck Person.
Yeah.
He got
Chuck Person, the rifleman. That's right. Yeah.
He got snagged up in that. But
it's a good, I got to read that. I wanted to, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a great book.
Yeah.
Billy, question for you. Was Damon Jones a buck when you were a ball boy?
Not while I was a ball boy.
Okay.
No, not while I was a ball boy. I want to say he was a Cav while I was, because he was in the league while I was.
Okay. I remember him.
Helping him out. Yeah.
Of course, Chauncey Billups was a terrific player.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
That and wasn't he like one time the president of the Players Association?
He was.
Too?
That was what I was thinking. He was also the front of the Players Association, which
businessman apparently.
Not necessarily painted in a lot
this
of
is before Billy's time. You may have seen it though, but Armen will remember this, and Dolph, you'll remember it. The 1994 movie Blue Chips with Nick Nolte as the coach.
Leon Bordeaux, right?
Yeah, Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
And they were paying
Shaq and Penny. Yeah.
The old Bob Knight guy had to cave and start paying guys.
That's right.
Yeah, Shaq and Penny. Like that was it was probably dead on.
I remember
guys were getting paid.
When I was a kid, I wanted to watch every sports movie there was, right? You guys know about the pantheon of great 90s kids sports movies. It was a legacy, right?
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year.
Angels in the outfield.
Angels that line them up. Little Big League, Mighty Ducks, blah, 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 Big Green, all those Sandlot. So I kind of thought every sports movie in the 90s when I was a kid was like that type of movie. And I remember I knew Blue Chips was about basketball. So I told I wanted to rent Blue Chips. We rented Blue Chips. I remember thinking this is totally different style of movie than I'm used to.
Yeah, it was.
Where's the feel good moments? Where's the when do they go and win? Why are they cheating? I remember that was tough for me, Billy. You're gonna laugh. That was a tough one for me. So that was Blue Chips. But that was a great movie. The older I got, I realized what kind of great, really good stuff.
I should go back and watch the movie One-on-One with Robbie Benson.
Oh, I love that movie.
As a hick recruit.
I love that. I can still quote parts of that movie.
Oh
Robbie Benson, and who was the woman? She was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember.
Played his tutor in college
yeah.
at Western State, and the coach was crooked and hated him, and Robbie Benson was this phenom. And I remember he threw up 35 against Notre Dame or Michigan, and then went into the office and said, about that scholarship, you can all the way up with the red hot poker.
Yeah,
and then he walked out.
I can go anywhere I want.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah,
that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Annette somebody was the
that's right.
She was
Annette
fantastic. Annette O'Toole.
Yes.
Good pull, Drew.
877-794-1973. So that I know the NBA doesn't want a big spotlight on it, but it's a court case. 12 of the defendants taking plea deals, and that usually, the feds, when it comes to stuff like this, they don't lose.
They rarely miss.
They don't miss.
No, never. So I mean,
Chauncey and Damon Jones can. They can afford some really good lawyers, but when the case is
as open and shut as it looks to be, good luck.
And they're probably their days being anything associated with basketball are over.
You would
assume,
think,
right? But Michael Vick survived his ordeal and was back being relevant
and
again.
Not only just relevant, given opportunity to impact people, and has done a really, really good job being able to repair it. I'm fascinated when this first came out, and the first week, the big smoke was who Damon Jones was most connected to. And recently, the one that he's been most connected to would be LeBron James. So that was it was also in the midst of the time that LeBron was out. He had been ramping up to be able to play. So I am personally glad that part has settled.
And we know this, Billy. There's an appetite in market, a big one out there for people that want to find something on LeBron. They want something.
They've been trying for 20 years.
He's been squeaky clean for 20 years, and they'll do anything they can. If they can get
Armen,
him to catch one case, they'll do it. Right?
But how dare he?
Yeah.
How dare he love his freaking son?
I don't know, man.
And go and play basketball with him.
And building schools and stuff like that. He should have been out
educating kids.
He should have been out there betting 57,000 on a golf game like Slim Bowler. I don't know who else would have done that. I don't know who else would have been playing in Atlantic City at 2 a.m.
What do you think Jordan dropped on golf games in his lifetime?
They tried to come up with a number once. How much money it was.
I smile and listen. I think I'm much more Michael Jordan positive than I ever have been before. As I'm watching him just dominate, and I should be making more money on his team in NASCAR. Yeah. But I think it's fun that his driver who's dominating right now is driving a casino car.
Yeah, that is funny.
He does have the Chumba casino car being driven around for a team jump. And listen, not surprisingly, they're right there at the front, doing pretty well.
Go figure.
It works out.
Yeah, he had multiple debts he paid. If you tried to add them up, I mean, he wrote so many gambling debts for golf camp, but he was so he had a competitive problem.
You see
competitive problem.
I just saw it on TikTok. I got fed the Jeremy Roenick telling the story about how he was playing Mike in golf, and he beat him, and Jordan got pissed, and it's let's play another 18, and tried to press him, and it's you got a game tonight, dude, and it's they're playing in the afternoon, another 18, crushing beers, and then on the way out, Roenick beat him in the second 18, and Jordan all right, let's double or nothing that we win by 30 tonight, or we win by 20 tonight, and I score 35, and Roenick's no way, and he scored 40.
Scored 40, they won.
Yeah, dude was
and probably hasn't lost any of that competitive spirit. Roenick was a legendary gambler in his own right. I remember my old partner on the radio, Karen, telling me her and her husband were in Monte Carlo, of all places, at a casino. Jeremy Roenick was there and had a mountain of chips this high that was probably worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow, you can always buy in for that.
He was a young Blackhawk. I was covering a lot of hockey, and I went down and did a bunch of Blackhawks games and interviewed him a bunch of times. Great interview, great dude.
Oh yeah,
great
with a microphone.
Yeah, great, no doubt. And he was living the dream, the Chicago young athlete in Chicago.
Sure,
he lived the dream.
Are you saying it's not the same for the young athlete in Green Bay?
I'm saying that's probably true.
I don't think it. Well, I'll tell you this: it's not the same for the young athlete in Chicago now.
Pete Crow Armstrong's living pretty good. Jonathan Tays and those guys lived a pretty good life.
Who's the Blackhawk now? That's the rookie, or the young sensation.
Connor
Bedard. Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
But it sure is different.
It's different.
Sure is different. They're getting they're the toast of the town, but it is a definite different existence. Man. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But quick, I did find this. This is an article only from about 2 months ago that Charles Barkley claimed Jordan had a $100,000 putt once.
I believe it.
$100,000
no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, so the Bucks might get right. They played the Jazz on Saturday, won the record. I was telling the boys, I think the bottom 10 teams in the NBA right now have combined for 44 straight losses.
Oh my God.
They're on a 44 game combined losing streak. No one in the bottom 10 has won a game in a while.
I remember saying Friday, I said, the Bucks they can coast into this play-in tournament.
Yeah,
now it's
over.
It's over. I mean, you could see the frustration. Giannis firing the ball last night. It's it's going to get ugly before it gets better.
It's bleak. It is bleak right now.
At least Armen has Marquette. Well, hey, Marquette won their second straight road game last night.
Milkshakes. Yeah, they did that. They beat Providence. They looked good doing it. I was happy to see James and Stevens playing well, but I didn't need that. I mean, at least we have.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Badgers blow out Maryland, but Nolan Winter got hurt. Hopefully that's not serious, man.
I'm excited for Marquette. I think why not? Why couldn't they upset UConn on Saturday?
They could. Right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
I'm going to the game. I'm going to be there to see some history. You coming?
Let's go.
What time is it at?
11:30 a.m.
Oh, maybe I can actually.
If I get with the Golden Eagles,
you got tickets for me? Thank you.
We'll probably find some.
Actually, I don't know what they probably aren't.
I was going to say, I think they'll pay you $10 to go.
Except Marquette fans on a Saturday, you
could probably get in for $40 upstairs.
Probably.
It's the Shamrock Shuffle, so there's a lot more stuff.
Yeah, it is. That's
maybe I should go to that one. All right. Maybe I will.
Does UConn have anything left to play for besides seeding in the NCAA
I think
tournament?
they can. I think they're playing for a 1 seed. The question is, will they get it? I think they have a chance, but Florida has something to say about that.
They will have their foot on the gas.
So they don't. This would be a quad 3 loss at Marquette.
Oh yeah, they lose to Marquette. They probably aren't getting a 1 seed. So I don't think they want to lose this. Yeah,
they're going to be. They're going to be going at it. Dolph, thanks for popping by. Always appreciate your. We'll make our halftime adjustments and get back after it and finish strong. Hunter Baumgardt joins us after 7. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen huddling up on a Thursday in the good land. 877-794-1973. We need some audience participation.
Come on now.
Hey, get in the game with us. Get in the game with my friends from Game Day Men's Health. Visit them online, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Find that clinic near you. Middleton, Brookfield, they're all over the place. And growing up nationwide as well, because men's health no longer a taboo subject. They can help you with a variety of maladies, but first you got to go there. Take the first step. Go to your browser, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. You don't even have to talk to a human being. Find the clinic nearest you, set that appointment, no cost, no obligation. Go in and see what they're about and see if they can help change your life as they have for thousands. Check it out. GameDayMen'sHealth.com is the website. Get back in the game with Game Day Men's Health. All right. We mentioned Hunters coming up. We're still monitoring this Korea. It's a bit of a nail biter. Korea's up 11-4.
It turned into a bit of a runaway here with Korea on the
former Czech Republic. What are they now, Armen?
Czechia. I looked up their roster. I couldn't really recognize anybody, so I felt bad about that. But they do have, a bunch of ball players that just
they got guys in uniforms. Yes,
it showed that they won the European Championship in '97, if I'm not mistaken, on their Wikipedia. So they do have
check with my buddy.
They play ball over there. I mean,
my buddy Kevin is a huge international baseball guy. He gets up early and watches the KBO. He's just a freaky. That's his hobby, man. Big time international baseball guy.
I love it. I mean, like, again, I like seeing how intense other people in other countries watch it.
About it, yeah.
And I also like watching how it's consumed, right? Like European soccer for me, I don't think the game is bad. I just need a little bit more pace. I need a little more action. I need a little more condensed. It would be better if I knew the players. My favorite part of watching a Premier League match is watching the crowd.
The crowd going crazy with
feeling
the chants.
In the international games, all kinds of energy that way. Like when you start watching KBO, when that stuff was on, and watching games in Japan, it's watching the crowd, and then you go and see the energy that they had for the Dominican Republic. That stuff was next level.
Nonstop in the crowds.
Absolutely. All right, so Justin in Jacksonville said, I think the World Baseball Classic should be played during All-Star Week. Players and pitchers already in game shape. Plus, I think guys would care more.
Is there any...
I disagree. I like this now because you got the teams together for a while, and
that's what I like the WBC right now. Like I think to kick off the season, like you said, Drew, there's no sport that's going to get a better launch.
It's like spring training is just not sexy, and then this is, and it's not every year. It's every couple of years.
Every couple of years. The Olympic one, I do believe they would benefit greatly if they found a way to be malleable and do it right. Like again, I don't know that you could.
Shut down for 2 weeks. Can you shut down for 2 weeks? Sure, but then
I don't know that you can shut down for 2 weeks. Could you play a bunch of AAA guys for a week? Right? Like could you play a significant amount of AAA guys? Could you have 7 to 8 players on each team be AAA players? I don't think it's crazy to think of.
You limit it to one guy per team, so then it's like but then does everybody have to be represented? You have a 30-man roster with one guy from every team? How do you do it?
I think it's a great thing. That, but
I think baseball would greatly and MLB would greatly benefit by trying to find a way to do it. That's a good point. Maybe you eliminate how many or a certain number of players that you could, but especially for what could come down the horizon in 2027, if indeed they have some kind of significant work stoppage and then MLB players don't find their way into the Olympics in 2028, that would be a huge miss on an opportunity to try to get back some goodwill.
Well, one of the best memories for Brewers fans is when Ben Sheets won that championship, the gold medal game. Was it against Cuba, Drew? I think he was the starter and won that game for the U.S. That's one of our best memories. I know as young Brewers fans, excited about a prospect, getting to see him play on the big stage, win a big game, and then obviously matriculate through the Brewer system, become their star ace. So I think that there's the energy is there for it.
They would extend the All-Star break from July 9th to the 21st in 2028 to accommodate the tournament, with the All-Star game likely would be in San Francisco, San Diego, or Vegas that year.
There you go. Hey, another thing that's been great about the WBC, it's given us another chance to rip on Fanatics, who's doing it again.
Cow,
way to go,
Armen.
Fanatics. They find a way to screw it up again. My man Billy trying to get a blue terrain jersey, not available, right? And then I started investigating more. If you ordered a jersey the day they were available, they don't come in until the day the tournament's over. That's a big L for Fanatics. Thanks for not having. So you cannot get a WBC American jersey if at all during the tournament. It's not possible. Also, Their sweatshirts say USA undefeated. Why that slogan
that
is
needs
there.
to be explained to me.
It doesn't make sense because we're not undefeated, and everybody has that undefeated no matter what country you buy. Doesn't make sense. And I saw an Aaron Judge jersey mock-up or whatever it was that the numbers were all crooked. So way to go, Fanatics, for doing it again, putting us in the sports fan merchandising personal hell that you put us in for these many years. Please, somebody save us from this sports gear hell. Please.
Yeah, where on earth is Russell Athletic when you need him?
Russell, Majestic, anybody. I will take anybody at this point. I'll take Stephen Barry's at this point.
Stephen Barry's would have an absolute time right now if they'd be able to enter the chat.
They did just as good a job for a lot less money.
The really tough thing is you do buy some jerseys on like a DH gate, and all of a sudden you'll be like, holy cow, why does this one look better than the one that's $200 that I just bought online?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. 877-794-1973.
Every single blue jersey is like, so even if you go like, you know what, I will go Captain America. Give me Aaron Judge. I'll throw the 9-9 on. Nope, can't do it. Sorry. Horrendous. What an embarrassment.
Horrendous. Hunter Baumgart's going to be talking a little baseball with us coming up next. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Diller, for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 jet. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. You got to send our guys after you and make the play.
B right, all the way outside. Y left, fake 396 bag. D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
Zit, don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Rockin' Rivers, shaking lakes. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere in the iHeart app, which is where you need to go use that talkback feature to enter the Saz's VIP contest. Yes, Festus Sazama's coming up, coinciding with opening weekend for the Brewers. Big tent in the parking lot, heated, bands, fun, throwback drink prices, all in celebration of Saz's 50th anniversary. You need to find that talkback feature, the little microphone on the app, the iHeartRadio app. Fox Sports Radio 920. And you can just tell us your name, your hometown, your phone number, and your favorite Saz's memory or Saz's menu item, and then you're entered. It's as simple as that. You will be having a great meal pregame at Saz's. Jump in the shuttle, go to the ballpark, spend the day in the iHeart suite. May or may not see us. I don't know if we've been named to the guest
you
list
might
or
make
not.
the travel roster.
I would imagine
I
you
never
would.
take anything for granted.
That's nice of you, but I'm sure you can walk in
I
there.
never
too.
take
I
anything
guess it's
for
Hunter's
granted.
on the travel roster.
Hunter is the
Could
travel
be.
roster.
So just go there, take care of it. More information at Saz's.com/50 because Saz's has got 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
The finest, the best. Absolutely.
We're getting
So-
the talk back, a couple of them in there, so the competition's picking up. We're talking
Keep them coming. You're going to want to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast. Hunter Baumgardt joins us now through the miracle of technology live from his domicile. Hello, Hunter.
Hello, good morning, guys.
I have a question, Hunter, before these guys get to the important stuff and you talk baseball. Your background, we've got new additions to the background now.
Oh, wow.
Your
Man, good
backdrop
call.
your backdrop is getting cooler and cooler. You started with the art. Now
Rate
I
my
see
room.
what's that on the shelf there? A little take me out to the ball game thing. So you're adding little pieces here. So I have to ask about them. Yeah.
Yes, we've got a little tour of the background here. So I feel like a weatherman with
I like this.
This is not a green screen though. This is an actual background. But yeah, this is a little take me out to the ball game. All the ballparks are on here, and then you of course got the Bob Uecker book.
So cool.
You've got a baseball here, and then I got, unfortunately you can't see, but I got 3 bobbleheads up here of Sal, Murph, and Churio.
Great.
So
Okay.
a little
Okay.
plants to
The
just
depth,
kind of
for the
make it a
depth.
really podcast
Nice.
setup.
Is that baseball from when you struck out 7 in your starting debut, or is that from the first win that you had as a coach, or what do we got there on the ball?
I believe it's signed by the '82 team.
Oh, wow. Just casually, whatever.
Say now.
Oh, well, by the way, I got best team. I
Couple
So,
of famers on that.
think that's
And
my Babe Ruth ball.
The really weird part about it is I can't remember how I think it just appeared on my desk at work at one point. So like I'm still trying to figure out
Probably
where
a gift
I got
from
it.
Dobie.
Yeah.
But you know what? That sounds
That sounds about right.
very
That'd be on
much
brand.
sounds
That's what
Yeah.
Dobie would do.
totally.
Oh, Hunter likes
probably.
baseball. I found this at a thrift store for $1. Here it is.
There we go.
Exactly,
I got all my Marquette
exactly.
mugs.
Yeah.
It's from it's pretty
Little
cool.
bounce.
Hunter looking good. Just wanted
Very
to get that
true.
in before we start the important
Very
stuff.
I
true.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, Hunter, it's March 5th. Christian Yelich broke the seal yesterday with a couple of 100-mile-an-hour plus hits and debuting the leg kick. We're back to the leg kick for Yelich. Is this going to be a permanent thing, or will it be a work in progress? What do you think?
It sounds like he has been working on it. With Daniel Vogelbach, they've been putting in some hours trying to get the timing right and everything. And it's wild. You're in the major leagues for so long, and you think, oh yeah, he'll just show up and just trust what he's always done. But these guys are so meticulous and okay, what can I do to get an inch better this year, an inch better, and year after year. And that's what it seems Christian Yelich is doing. This isn't something he has done since 2024. And so I'm interested to see if it's permanent. I think spring training, as he said yesterday that he feels most athletic when he's using the leg kick. So I have a feeling he's going to try to continue to use it. But then again, spring training is the time to test these things. And well, it worked quite well yesterday with that home run to dead center in his second at bat. Like you said, that other, hot single as well. And then he walked, he looked great at the plate. So whatever he needs to do to be successful, he had a really solid season last year, kind of a comeback season last year. And hopefully he can double it up because he's going to be a key part of this offense as the designated hitter.
Yeah, you do whatever makes you feel the best, right? You look good, feel good, play good, and at that point they pay good. So they're already paying good. Let's play good and continue to feel good. As long as the kick continues that way and his pacing works, he'll be the keyest cog in the middle of the order to that point, Hunter. But what about a couple of the guys that are a little bit less thought of? Now, all due respect to David Hamilton and his family, I'm very, very excited. I really, really hope that Murph is hitting a home run on this one. When he said the quantum leap projection was David Hamilton, him in like one of the most forgotten major league contracts they signed, one of I think two that they signed outside of the organization, Akil Baddoo, they've both actually been hitting the ball pretty well. What's the thought there? Because I feel like Baddoo, nobody's even thought of, but when he's given a major league deal, the thought is he's going to be on the big league team. And I don't know that we've maybe done the mathematics for him to be a part of that.
Well, that's the thing. If you look at how this roster stands right now, I think that's the very interesting part. I kind of did some math. So you say 26 roster spots, say they keep 13 pitchers. Okay. They go 13 and 13. That's the maximum. You figure you go around the diamond, you figure Contreras is obviously there, Vaughn's there, Terang's there, Ortiz is there, Renjifo's there. And then Churio, Yelich, Frelick are your locks for the outfield. And then Sanchez, Bowers, and I would think Hamilton is a lock as a backup. I just think he's your utility man, can play some at third base. If he's going to be a quantum leap candidate, well, then maybe he is going to be a guy who gets more playing time at third base than maybe we originally thought when they signed Renjifo. So that is 11 right there. So all of a sudden you're down to 2 spots, and that's for Mitchell, that's for Perkins, that's for Baddoo, that's for Lockridge, that's for Tyler Black. So you have 5 guys for 2 spots really. And so if I were to choose Mitchell and Perkins, I see Perkins making the team. I mean, the famous quote, Pat Murphy saying he'll send himself down before he sends Blake Perkins down. So Perkins, nice I would think, is on the team. Yeah, I would think so.
Wouldn't it be great to hear that if you're a player and you're not really established, but your manager says that? Like, he's got it. I'm like, man.
I think you've heard that a time or two. MVP in the radio station.
I don't think I've heard that at all, but I appreciate you saying that.
But Perkins being a switch hitter with Gold Glove defensive capabilities,
right, absolutely.
Hard can usually find a place for a guy.
Why manager would love that, right?
Yeah.
So
totally.
Yeah. Now the thing I found interesting when you mentioned the Vogelbach giving advice to Yelly, Yelly's a pro. I'm sure he'll be receptive to coaching and things like that always. But isn't that sort of like me giving broadcast tips to Dan Patrick? Like, isn't that sort of weird, right? But then again, we see it in football all the time, right, guys? Where the quarterback coach is usually, a guy that's played in the league but was never necessarily as good. Maybe we always used to joke about who's getting Aaron Rodgers the quarterback coaching, but that dynamic, I think, is going to be interesting to see how Vogel fits in. And you talked with him.
And Vogelbach worked. I mean, they played together, so he watched him hit. They were in the cage together a lot. So he's a guy that's, oh yeah, you used to do this, or I remember you this when you're going good. And, yeah,
I think it works because he
doesn't matter that
Yelich doesn't have an ego. Though.
He doesn't have to be a better hitter to tell Yelich what to do.
Because rarely those guys are good, right? Rarely the best guys are. Like even Yelich just talked about with Barry, it wasn't anything that he said that was like X's and O's. It was just go in there and believe you're going to hit a homer.
Did Chris Hook have nastier stuff than Freddie Peralta and
point well
Corbin
taken.
Burns?
Yeah, point well taken.
No, you don't have to coach. You know that, Armen. But Hunter, it is interesting talking about Yelich, and here he is in camp grinding away and trying to get himself right, and he's on his own schedule, right? He doesn't do what you need to do to get ready. He's reached that. He's 34. He deserves it. But I wonder if he has deep down FOMO about the World Baseball Classic, because it wasn't that long ago. Well, I guess it was, 9 years ago that he was the 3 hitter on the U.S. team and one of the, all tournament guys when they won. They won the gold that year that he played. I wonder if he misses being in that strata, or if he's just happy, be getting ready for the season. I wonder if deep down he's watching that going, I should be there.
Great call.
Yeah, maybe there's a possibility there. I know probably number one on his list is health at this point, just because of what the last 5 years has brought him. So I would guess that he's probably going to prioritize that over maybe playing there since he had already. But at the same time, yeah, and I still think he could do some damage for Team USA. Although you look at that lineup, it's just there is not a hole in that lineup right now. You look at the one, especially the one they put out against the Giants 2 days ago when Turang was in there. And then Turang comes off the bench yesterday and hits 2 doubles. So Turang is clearly showing that he belongs on that team as well. Obviously, it's against Rockies and Giants pitchers right now. And then we'll see what he does in the World Baseball Classic. They debut tomorrow night against Brazil. So I'm fascinated to see if Turang does get the start. I would think he would, but we'll see. And then I'm interested in all the Brewers that are in this World Baseball Classic. I mean, it's like I feel like I'm also watching with, kind of peeking around the corner, like just be healthy. Like do good for your country, everything, and everything like that. It was cool though. Abner Uribe, I believe he's on the Dominican Republic, if memory serves. That celebration is even more electric when it's on the world stage. He did it in an exhibition game and closing things out for them the other day. Oh, and the fans are just absolutely going wild. So that's the atmospheres that we're about to see for these games. That's what I'm really excited for.
A true showman, Abner Uribe. He
totally
knew exactly what he was doing. And you want to talk about William Contreras? I would assume he might be a little bit of a showman for Team Venezuela. Churio's got the 1 rocking for Team Venezuela. That looks pretty sweet. So I'm a fan. I'm excited to see it. How much of the guys being away though? Like yesterday, you're watching Cooper Pratt and Jesus Madej up the middle. That's a pretty nice peek into the future to be able to see what it looks like with a couple of the main guys out. Maybe it's not the same kind of experience that you'd be getting in your first big league camp, but what do you see? And from the people that you've talked to, Hunter, that are down there, like what is the vibe and the feel of those guys being able to go through a big league camp, albeit a much more extended stay than generally you would have gotten as a minor leaguer top prospect at your first big league camp?
Totally. You look at the top 5 in at bats so far for the Brewers, and Madej's right up there, and even Luis Lara's up there. I mean, they've been playing these top prospects a fair amount, and obviously yesterday, like you said, a peek into the future, really cool. You had Frelick in the lineup, you had Yelich in the lineup, and then you had Pratt and Madej up the middle in that lineup as well. I just thought that was kind of cool. A glimpse into what could be, because there's a real chance Yelich plays in the same lineup as Madej and Pratt in the future. And I do wonder if that is your middle. As much as we've talked about Madej at short, defense still a work in progress for Madej. The bat obviously is what everybody's really excited about. You put Madej over there at second. However, obviously, how is that going to work with Bryce Turang? When does that come? Probably maybe a year or two. And then what's Turang's contract status? And that's a discussion for years down the road. But I just think it's interesting, especially with Pratt being over there at short. One guy, unfortunately, that's missing out on these reps with the guys that are down, that are out right now, with Ortiz and Turang being in the World Baseball Classic, is Jet Williams, who unfortunately is dealing with that quad injury right now. And it sounds like he's doing stuff in the cage and taking at bats. But I think a little bit of ground ball work the other day, but just trying to still get back to running. I think he'll be okay when it comes to opening day, and I don't necessarily think he'll make the roster, but it sounds like over the next couple weeks is when we may see him again. But that's kind of a missing out, because this is his time really to take a hold of one of those positions and say, okay, consider me for either a utility spot or something over there at third base or what have you. So I think they're taking advantage. David Hamilton is also one of the top guys when it comes to at-bats right now. They're really seeing what they have in him. And he was talking with Sophia yesterday on the Brewers broadcast, and he was talking about how third base is a new position for him, and he admitted, I'm not quite comfortable over there yet. So I think that's going to be interesting. That's why it just continues to point signs to Rengifo being your everyday guy over there. And then Hamilton, he can take a quantum leap as a utility player, if he's really good off the bench, kind of the Jake Bauers role, right? Bauers has been really good off the bench, and that's kind of what's kept him at the major league level in a Brewers uniform. I think David Hamilton could be that guy as well. Maybe not the same power, but in a different way, that Andrew Monasterio type.
Yeah, and Jake Bauers' innate ability to, whenever the DFA is just above the red, like the little slip is about to get hung in the locker, all of a sudden, holy cow, 2 for 3 with 4 driven in. Well, I guess we're not cutting him today. I guess that's not happening here.
Timing is everything. We're talking with Hunter Baumgardt, our baseball go-to guy, our pal. And Hunter, the showcase yesterday, the Yelich hits, and then Shane Drowan and Brandon Sproat pitching well. So they got an extended outing.
Sproat was fun.
Them.
Well, and that's the thing if Quinn Priester is going to miss opening day, which we can get into that quote by Pat Murphy on the broadcast yesterday. It's room for concern, and we can get into that. If he's not going to be ready for opening day, that opens up a spot because to me, it's Woodruff, it's Mizorowski. If Woodruff's healthy, Woodruff, Mizorowski, then I would think Chad Patrick and Kyle Harrison, I think, are probably your other two. And then that leaves a spot. Is it Sproat? Is it Henderson? Is it Gasser? I feel like those would probably be the top 3 options there. Henderson didn't have a bad outing yesterday either. But I feel like the way Sproat's throwing the baseball right now, and maybe the earned runs aren't but you're looking at what he's able to do, what kind of Chris Hook has already done with Brandon Sproat. I think he might have a chance to make this rotation if Priester is out to start the season. And so that's what was really cool. Drowan has thrown really well. And Pat Murphy saying yesterday, you wouldn't be surprised if you see him in 2026. I don't think he necessarily makes the opening day roster unless he just pitches lights out the rest of spring training. And maybe leaves no choice, but I do think he starts at AAA, and then you do see him as that bullpen arm. It could be relatively soon. You know how the Brewers like to use their bullpen arms up and down from Nashville all season long. So I have a feeling Drowan could be up here sooner rather than later this season.
Yeah, and the depth will get tested, right? You mentioned the Quinn Priester. You mentioned the Pat Murphy quote. Obviously, he said there's room for concern. It's not responding the way we thought it would. We don't want to take any chances. Talking about the wrist injury, obviously, and how he's recovering from start to start, Hunter. Should we just assume at this point that Quinn Priester won't be ready to go for opening day, like you mentioned? Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, it's whenever Pat Murphy also saying they got 2 to 3 opinions. He's on a regimented program.
That was the scariest part for me
because they're trying to figure out why it's still hurting him.
Yeah, and it sounds like he had the wrist injury, kind of pitched through it, but then what that does is it causes you to pitch differently than usual. And so then the rest of your arm is doing things that it isn't used to, and then it kind of hurts the rest of your arm. And it sounds like started throwing in December, but then it just hasn't bounced back like they wanted it to. The arm, he feels fine one day, but then goes out another day and doesn't feel as well. And so, the room for concern quote gives us room for concern. So if I were to say, I would say right now, he probably starts on the IL. You just hope it's not a long-term issue, a 60-day type of situation. Not that I think it will be, but you do worry that, okay, this is a guy who we're going to have for a long time. This is a guy that threw a lot of innings for us last year and showed a ton of promise, obviously. This is a guy we want to protect. And we're, like he said, Murphy said this, we're not going to take chances right now. And so I would think that they're going to be, and I pretty much know, they're going to be more cautious with him than not. So I would think that opening day is in jeopardy for him, and then hopefully it's a shorter than longer IL stint.
Well, and we talked about it yesterday and earlier this week about the Woody little trepidation, then a little bit better news. Maybe he is more going to be ramped up for it. I don't know. Maybe it's just like old school where you start the season with the team that you ended it with. Aaron Ashby, probably your opening day starter, right? Like, let's just be honest. You might start 3 out of the first 5 games. But
that's so true.
I don't necessarily know what they'll do game 1 or game 2 or game 3. But you mentioned the Priester, and that's a massive question. What about the law firm of like Hall, Henderson, Gasser, all of this? Patrick, you can probably include into there as well, where it does feel like there's going to be a collection of like 8 guys for like 3 spots, because I'm putting Harrison into the rotation. He's going to be a part of it. Obviously, Woody, whenever he can, is going to be a part of it. But where do you see that race? Because it does feel like there's 8 guys that definitely want to be starters. There's only like 3 or 4 spots that they can. And at some point, is the juice worth the squeeze? Keep you stretched out in AAA, or see if you can learn how to get big league hitters out in a shorter sample.
Well, that's exactly it. And I think Pat Murphy did say the other day that, some of these guys are going to have to move to the bullpen. Like they're not maybe permanently, but guys that might have to just learn that way. And I do wonder, because they have so much talent, you want pitchers that are talented to be out there. And so I do wonder if they consider taking a Logan Henderson or a Robert Gasser and throwing him in the bullpen to start the season. But then again, Ashby and Hall are kind of your long relief guys there. So there is, it seems, if Priester's not ready, I would think there's, 1 to 2 spots ready in that rotation. If you have Woodruff and Mizorowski, and then you got, like you mentioned, Kyle Harrison, I think is in it. And okay, then there's 2 spots left. And Chad Patrick, I think would be the front runner, but like you said, Henderson, Gasser, Sproat, and Hall and Ashby. I think they really like Ashby in the bullpen. So I would think that's where he goes. I would also think Hall's in the bullpen as well. And so I think it kind of comes down to Gasser, Henderson, and Sproat, and maybe 1 to 2 of those guys is in Nashville, keeping stretched out, because what you don't necessarily want to do, and they could go to the bullpen and come back into the rotation, but what you don't want to do probably is not have them stretched out, and then a guy goes down in that rotation, and then you're kind of stuck with, okay, well, we committed to them in the bullpen, and then, okay, we want to be careful with his innings, and then he comes out, he only is going to throw 2 to 3 innings when you want to probably get 5 out of your starter. So I think they probably keep them stretched out, and that AAA rotation is going to look mighty good for the Nashville Sounds, and then they're going to be ready come whenever they need to.
Nashville should be pretty good.
This should be nice. And Armen last year, one of his favorite talkers about the Brewers was the guy that he saw pitch in Nashville.
Tobias.
How can Tobias Myers not be in this rotation? How can he not be helping out? How can he not be pitching?
Yeah, we saw why.
Yeah, we did see why.
No, he had some moments near the end, but after what he had did 2 years ago, you thought like Tobias should be a big part of this. But it wasn't to be. And
MLB The Show did though have Tobias Myers as the Game 3 starter in the 2028 NLCS.
There you go. See, it's not over, Tobias. Still grind away. Keep grinding away there. It's not over. So I like that.
Keep grinding away. Hunter, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Thanks for getting up early with us and for all that you do with us on Brewers Front.
Yeah, and helping with the audio gremlins that we had this morning.
Thank
you,
Hunter.
Thank you, Hunter.
Someone tried to give me all the credit, and I didn't want that to happen. I want Hunter to get all the credit. Some guys like, hey, you're Armen, you're the Lord of the board, and I'm like, well, no, Hunter was the one with the idea that solved it. So,
well, we put our minds together, and I was upset that I didn't figure it out within
me too.
It was like 10 to 15 minutes before we figured it out, and I'm like,
well, you would have thought that you could have closed the windows. Like again, Hunter, give yourself some credit there. You thought he had unplugged it and plugged it back in already. Yeah, you're good.
There are little trap doors. You never know why, and you keep working.
There are little trap doors, and we were able to get it solved. And glad we could get the YouTube stream and everything up. Thanks, guys. We will talk again next week.
You're the man. See you, buddy.
All right. Are we 3 weeks out from opening day? Is that about right?
3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today.
Goodness
opening day.
Sakes. How about that baseball fix with Hunter Baumgardt? We're going to be back, man. Before you know it, the show flies. Time flies when you're having a good time, as we always do on the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. This portion of the Huddle brought to you by our pals at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, orthowisconsin.com, the website. It's time, sports injuries, as we transition from winter sports to spring. Going to have some injuries. It's part of life now.
Always.
Wisconsin.com
Get away from them.
Is the website. They've got their walk-in emergency clinics. They've got state-of-the-art facilities and incredible care, world-class care right here at home from the best. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
It's tough when you know that you're going to need some orthopedic care at some particular point in time. You just don't know when. It's kind of like that ticking time bomb. But if you're out having fun and doing some things, you are potentially going to have to call Dr. Bong and Company.
Since we cover all the demos, 30s, 40s, 50s, you guys will learn that you wake up and for some reason, I don't know if I slept wrong or what, but both shoulders are in distress today.
Yep.
Both shoulders like, oh man, creaking. And like
I was going to say, you've probably heard different pops in there that you never have before. Yep.
Arthritic or slept wrong or something. Like, can I catch a break? I got really good sleep last night and I wake up feeling crappy because of my shoulder.
It's strange. Yeah. And listen, I'm in the same boat because I ended up sleeping great last night. My back is still a mess, but that's another thing here and there. But it is like all of a sudden I take one step like, dude, come on. Why is this ankle bad? There's no, I didn't do anything yesterday other than get up off my couch because my youngster said that he needed help going to the potty. Like there's nothing else I did that was strenuous. Yeah. Oh wait, I did walk around the block. Okay.
Yeah, that should be helping you.
That should be helping.
But you're right. Why am I? You feel like if I'm going to be this sore, I should have had like a crazy. I'm not saying workout.
I can't bench 95 pounds, right? Like I'm not going to embarrass myself physically that way. But it does feel like one of those moments where it's like I need to kickstart this deal. All right. Goodness. I walked 6 blocks and my back hurts.
Let's get after it. 877-794-1973. Your ticket to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line.
Okay. I don't know what I'd bench. I'm not saying anything. All right.
A mixed bag for basketball in our area last night.
Do a push-up.
Wisconsin crushing Buzz Williams and the Terrapins of Maryland. The Marquettians winning at Providence.
And we'll take it.
Armen's heart it's expand by 6 sizes.
Well, you in the midst of a hurricane, you do want the eye.
You'll take it.
You want a little bit of hope, and that's our hope. Is those young guards.
Badgers remember when they were starting the season, we were wondering who was going to go further in the tournament. The Badgers have won 20, Marquette's losing 20.
A real question. Well, when I was there at the Marquette Wisconsin game, and it was 11.5 point number, and I was talking to our friend Butchie, and he's like, "This thing could get ugly." Like, well, this game's never ugly. It could get ugly. And both teams went in the complete directions that game indicated there in the beginning part of December.
And Butch always thinks that every Marquette Wisconsin game will get ugly in Wisconsin's favor. So you never know with Butch, Oh, yeah.
But I do feel like he's always a little bit more pro Marquette than others.
Oh, definitely. And he likes shocking. He does a good job with that. He's usually pretty honest. I just think, But you know what? He was right. I'm not going to say anything. Now, the thing about it is, you're right. Usually that game is close. It wasn't, there's a lot of unknowns going into the year, but yeah, obviously you're right, Drew. I do remember those times. And that's what's amazing about a college basketball season, how much can change. I know a lot of people only check in around this time usually, but through the dog days, I said, pay attention to this. These are important wins for the Badgers. And they turned out to be those through January when they got out of that bubble state. Now they're in good shape. So yeah, that's what we're looking at here as we get to Selection Sunday, only 2 weeks away, I want to say.
And Selection Sunday is further out than NFL free agency. And I'll be honest with you, crept up on me. Yeah. Most of the time, it's the middle to later stages of March is the new league year. Monday at noon, when negotiations fully can get underway and the legal tampering period fires through. And man, you're starting to see a lot of politicking as to where certain players want to go, where certain players are angling to go, what certain teams might or might not be interested in said player. Drew, I think Kyler Murray is one of the most fascinating people in America right now because as third grade questions were being asked on the First Take and the morning shows on television today of should he play baseball or not. I actually don't think it's a wake and bake question. I think that's an interesting one for somebody that's got $36 million coming his way this year.
Ace would welcome him.
They put it out yesterday, like, hey, we're right here if he wants to come play.
If he wants to come play.
It wouldn't be the first time we saw somebody make the flip. I also think it would be the right time. He's already making $36 million on football contracts from the Cardinals this year.
True.
Like if you were going to get paid to go and take the shot at it.
You could get yourself a pretty nice bus in the A-ball.
That's true.
That's true.
You
Now
do the Jordan thing, upgrade the bus, upgrade the post-game spread.
He would be the most beloved.
Pocket.
He'd be the most beloved teammate I can assume on that A-ball team. Do you think that he'd be able to negotiate a Drew where they're like, hey, we're going to start you here at AA and figure out exactly what we can do? Because at some point, we want you to be playing, if Kyler's going to be an A, as much as they care about winning here, because they spent some money. The A's are actually spending free agent dollars more than the Pirates.
It's very interesting.
They're actually almost like trying now.
It's almost like they want to get excitement for that move.
They want him in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, like that would be, I'm not saying Bruno Mars-esque attraction in Las Vegas for at them. Bruno, pour one out. He might never be leaving Vegas.
Well, he's got to work that.
Rumors sound like he might never be leaving
He's
Vegas.
He's going to be washing dishes if he can't do those.
You want to have a little bit of an attraction.
Gotcha.
And I think as much as Nick Kurtz, the reigning NAL Rookie of the Year, is a good one for A's fans, that would be a fascinating one. All he's doing football-wise, though, Drew, Kyler Murray wants everybody to hear it and know he wants to be a Minnesota Viking. Like, I don't know if you're hearing the same thing, but
I mean,
every one of the reports, every single one of the rumors and the chat conversations, and I was tapping in a little bit on K-Fan yesterday to hear, they said everybody at the Combine was only asking them about Kyler to the Vikings because it seems like they're putting everything out there to try to see if Kevin O'Connell will take him in as their next reclamation project.
Oh, it makes some sense, doesn't it?
Track record.
I mean, unless they had their eye on Aaron, if Aaron didn't say
Malik
anything
Willis
yesterday, or Malik Willis, if they're trying to right the wrong they did last offseason by overlooking Aaron and saying no thanks, will they do that again? But Kyler seems to be. I mean, if you want a talent at that position and he's available and the price is low, I don't see why you wouldn't take a flyer.
The most basic tenet of scouting, though, that I don't want a quarterback who's 5'7".
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Kevin O'Connell is a guy who played in the league. He's 6'3", 6'4", big quarterback. I don't know that he necessarily wants that. But you do look at Kyler's numbers, and it's not he's one of the worst players that we've seen in the league. Again, counting stats for yardage might not be a thing. Like 6th or 7th in the league in yards in the last 5 years. So he's thrown over 100 touchdowns. He can play.
He's produced, and there have been small guys succeeding. There are always outliers. And yeah, I get it. He might not sometimes look the part, but does JJ McCarthy look the part when he can't throw the ball? I mean, I'm sorry. Like, you have to start looking at things like that. So I don't think, I don't think JJ is the option for that.
They do list Kyler at 5'10". I'm not buying that though, right?
On the greatest of days. On the greatest of days cleats, with the highest of cleats put in there.
And then Tua's listed at 6'1". I don't buy that either.
No, that one's definitely not going to.
Listen, there are guys over 6 feet walking around the halls here that I don't think are quarterbacks either. I mean, if you get so locked into what a guy looks like and not what he's, Kyler's had problems, but he's also also has some talent, athletic ability.
Extremely talented. I don't know though that Drew, he's as dynamic as he was before the injury.
Yeah.
Well, who wins you more games next year, Kyler Murray or Malik Willis?
That's a good question. I think it depends on the unit, right? It depends on who's coaching.
The situation.
Yeah, they're definitely more than
Mike
JJ.
LaFleur could probably scheme up for both of them.
He probably could. Definitely doesn't want to for $36 million with the Kyler contract.
Oh.
I mean, I love Kevin O'Connell, and I don't love the idea of Kyler Murray slinging the ball to Justin Jefferson 13 times a game, and Jordan Addison if he's healthy, 6 or 7 times a game.
He's made better meals with less groceries.
100%.
I totally agree with you, Billy. You know how I feel about that.
And
O'Connell
it being
situation.
Indoors might be like the perfect blend of it too, right? Like, I mean, they only end up in the NFC North, obviously Chicago and Green Bay. If you're going to go through and win the North, you're going to have to go and play 2 outdoor games. You don't know what those are going to be and when it's going to be lining up. But the worst thing that happened to him was somebody that released the language of the study clause in his last contract and the injury. But otherwise, he's put up numbers and he's produced and he's been able to play. I thought the other interesting question or the statement maybe was more impactful, and the one that Armen, I know you'll smile at.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Pia was talking to one of their main beat writers and conversators and asked if the smoke was that JJ McCarthy at any point in the next 3 to 4 years would be a starting quarterback. And they're operating under the assumption that it's just not going to happen.
I mean, it seems obvious to me. Now, I'm not saying
that's 10 games.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's out of chances, but you'd have to have some sort of reclamation deal. I mean, we've seen that in this league a lot, right? With Darnold and Mack and pick your guy. But boy, I said this from the moment they drafted him. I didn't see it. I don't get it. I understand Michigan was good that year. I don't see him being a great quarterback in this league, but I'm not a great evaluator or anything like that. I just, this is my opinion. And so far we haven't seen it.
Those questions all persist, Drew. The Packers obviously have their own. Lost 5 games to close the year off. 2 of their 3 best players coming off of torn ACLs and going to have to try to rehab from there.
Yeah.
I don't know who's got the most questions going into free agency in the division. It might be one of the teams that was one of the biggest disappointments in football in 2025. And the Lions, the only thing they have is a new offensive coordinator, and you can't think it could get much worse than having to take the play calling away from the guy after 5 weeks.
I'm just wondering, are there other markets where they're buzzing about the prospect of adding Rashawn Gary or Quay Walker?
Maybe the latter. More the latter, I guess. But the Packers could create up to Spoon had a really, really good piece about it yesterday. They can create up to $70 million in cap space with all of the advance payments, the pushing money forth into future years. 12 million of that can come with Aaron Banks. I know a lot of people thought he was going to get cut. Not happening, I don't think. But it asks if they want to, right? Like, do they want to mortgage a lot of it going into this year? Or are they going to, prioritize trying to bring some of these guys back? And maybe there's 1 or 2 of those names that we kind of have thought are fully gone and come back on a little bit cheaper deal than we were planning.
Could be. We're going to close up shop when we come back. The fastest 3 hours of the day is between 5 and 8.
That's right.
The rest of the time is just wondering when I have to go to sleep.
When to eat, when to sleep.
It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Keep it simple. Closing ceremonies have arrived for today's edition of the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on that iHeart app. Got to tell you again to use the talkback feature. Do it today. Get entered for the Saz's VIP experience. Well, what is that? You and a guest win tickets to the iHeart Suite American Family Field for the second game of the 2026 championship season, Milwaukee, Chicago. It's March 28th. It's one of those weird deals where opening day is a Thursday and Friday's an off day.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
It's like in a market where they don't have a roof.
Yeah, we have a roof and it's cold, so we should definitely be okay.
Right,
Why don't we just not do that? Have it on Friday, and we can all go on an absolute pisser.
Our winners are going to get dinner and drinks at Saz's, and then a shuttle to the ballpark, and then seats in the iHeart Suite for the games where you get tickets, food, drinks, so transportation all covered for you, which is amazing. So Talkback Mike, that little talkback function on the Fox Sports 920 app. And then all you have to do is tell us your name, your hometown, your phone number, favorite memory of Saz's, or favorite menu item from Saz's, and you can be entered to win the VIP experience. If you don't win, go to Festa Sazama that weekend. Starts Thursday for the opener. Heated tent outside, bands, throwback pricing, just a celebration of the finest and Saz's 50th anniversary, which is going to be epic. The Friday, the off day, they're going to have the Milwaukee's largest fish fry, and then Bloody Mary brunch day on Sunday.
Go.
So they keep it going all weekend to celebrate the opening of baseball season and the unofficial end of winter in Wisconsin.
Yes, I know that, maybe technically spring will start the week prior to it. Actually starts when that one happens. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe good on MLB to move away for the world's largest Friday fish fry, because that does feel like it might be a little bit more important in Wisconsin than playing the second game of the season and playing the White Sox again. Like being able to have that thing cleared out. It is fish fry season, and had to finding the alternatives in the house, because again, somehow it's being overtaken by people that just love fish. I don't know. Did you guys see yesterday the SGA look when he hit the post game press conference?
I did, Billy, and I think that is the biggest dang coat I've ever seen indoors. Now, I understand the importance of a warm fur coat. I'm glad you mentioned it. I understand the importance of a warm coat in the winter, but I don't think you need to wear it indoors, and I don't think it needs to be covering your whole head.
My man looks like he's going to get attacked by a badger.
I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, are you are you Davy Crockett in that coat, or what's going on out there?
Did you see this, Drew?
I mean, my goodness.
Oh my God. Okay.
It looks warm. It looks cozy.
Look at my man.
Yeah, that's a big coat.
Giddy up.
It's chilling, answering the questions in full. I mean, like the thickest of fur that you possibly could. And he's doing a great job of still, like, it almost looks like he's in a neck brace of fur. And he's still able to move it around and answer the questions. It's phenomenal.
And I'm more impressed with the microphone quality that picked him up. I don't know how the mic picked up anything he was saying in the midst of him being that far away with all that fur. I'm like, aren't you hot in that thing? I know that's not comfortable indoors. I know it's comfortable in general, probably outdoors. I know it's not comfortable indoors. So, I mean, that was wild. That was pretty good. But, rest in peace to the 45 minks that had to die for him.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a fake one. I don't know. Yeah.
I could just hear you doing the furry convention conversation after he looks at that.
Greatest hits of you, furries up there, and so is Jean-Jacques Smythe from Montreal. Oh my goodness! All right, 877-794.
That was like a full inning. He went.
That was the best ever. That was the
absolute
Pittsburgh, maybe.
Yeah, it was Pittsburgh.
Oh,
speaking of coats, been in the 4-4s, and the Bucks didn't lose when I wore my yellow Olympic coat. Yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe that was the good luck charm. I don't think
that's actually not a bad. That's actually an interesting take. Maybe depending on if it's good enough for the program, do you go back to it?
Yeah, I mean, I would do it whatever it takes to help the Bucks win. But
that doesn't sound like you want to.
Yeah,
doesn't sound like you really want to.
I'll do it if you really think that yellow coat was the difference. I'll do it. I mean,
something's got to give. If the Bucks are playing Utah, that's 2 bottom 10 teams. One of them's got to win, so the losing streak might come to an end Saturday.
Might actually come to an end Saturday. Yes.
Well, someone's going to have to win.
As we mentioned, the bottom 10 teams in the NBA are on a combined 44-game losing streak.
That is just a crazy one. Yeah, Saturday could be a special day then. But Bucks win a game again. Dropkick Murphy's playing after the Admirals game.
Can't wait.
Shamrock Shuffle in Milwaukee earlier on.
Lordy.
And the superhero of that day will be from Current Electric, callcurrent.com, will be the Uber driver that you end up calling when you get on home.
Yes.
That'll be a day to make sure you are getting a ride share home, because it is going to be an absolute madhouse downtown Milwaukee.
Thank you to all the drivers keeping everyone safe.
Thank you to Current Electric for the superhero of the day.
Yes, callcurrent.com. Make sure you go check them out at this year's Realtors Home and Garden Show, March 20th through the 29th. Listen, it is going to start getting hot. We talked about it, end of winter, start of spring, summer. What do you want to do after daylight savings? Especially if you don't have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. You want to be hanging out outside on those summer nights.
Baby.
On that patio, backdoor oasis. Make sure you get the lighting taken care of with Current Electric.
No question. The only thing we didn't really hit today that I thought we would spend more time on was Aaron Rodgers' comments on McAfee.
Man, wow.
Run out of show.
More weird stuff, though. But if you're
but
interested in Aaron Rodgers and his kind of weirdness, it was somewhat revealing yesterday. They talked about how he's not really quick, guys. Not living at the beach anymore because he's getting stalkers with him and his wife. He thinks it's blank and bizarre that people want to know who she is and want to know about her. I kind of get it, but then again, I kind of don't, so it's one of those things. He also said, what was the reference, the movie reference? I'm blanking now, Drew.
Kaiser Sose.
He said he's going to be Kaiser Sose when he retires. You'll never hear from him.
You'll never hear from him and he's gone. I'm not doing TV. I'm not doing anything.
I don't believe that at all.
Gone.
I think people.
He's just going to be gone.
I do think he wanted to put that out there because I think there is some smoke to people wanting to get him onto a microphone this year if he's not going to play.
He dropped some stuff a little bit about his family too, and he talked about it was quite. He was on one for sure.
He went after his exes. It kind of sounded like
he said. If you guys notice me, I don't.
Apparently, I ruined someone's life.
Because if you actually know me, I don't like the limelight. He said I don't like social media. I don't want to be on it. I'd never do it. He said only a former ex coerced me into doing it, or something like that, the Instagram. And I'm like, well, who is this?
He hasn't tweeted a lot and stuff. And then, he talked about his relationship with McCarthy and like the powwow they had on it before a night game at Lambeau.
Yeah, and
sewing room.
And we kind of wondered about that. It seemed like they had multiple, and that was the Dallas game, right? Yeah. When it was clearly not going well for the Packers. And that was in the midst of 5-game losing streak. And it seemed like they were going to pull themselves out of it during that. I also heard it and don't think he's playing again. Right, like I know he made it sound like, I'm going to think about it. I haven't made any decision. Turn the TV off if you think that's happening. I think he's done.
It does seem that way.
I think he's done. And you know what? Good for it. Yeah. Enjoy it, man. Yeah. Go enjoy it. You done good, dude. You done good.
Yeah. You don't want to go down like Jordan with the Wizards. Fortunately, nobody really remembers that, but it's not the way you want it.
That's not how you want one jerk, Billy Schmid, who is waiting to become a broadcaster now, to remember you as.
Absolutely. All right, tomorrow on the program, what we got going? It's Friday. I know that.
We get a little Matt LePay conversation in on a Friday.
Getting ready for the finale.
That's going to be hard to top.
And whoever wins the Whitnell Greenfield ladies bet.
Right? Oh, baby, that's
true.
Be good.
Blazers on the line.
Have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll see you at 5 a.m.
Peace.